Once you are self-aware, you must make a change.
Welcome to the Millionaire Woman Show, where we'll be discussing leadership, business, human potential, inspiring you to live rich from the inside out. Unlock your creativity, stretch out of your comfort zone, break through your barriers, take inspired action, and achieve epic results. Now here's your host, 3-time best-selling author, speaker, and certified executive coach, Debra Kasowski.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Millionaire Woman Show. I'm your host, Debra Kasowski. Today, we are talking about what can you do when you feel like you're in a state of overwhelm. Well, number one, stop comparing yourself to other people. That's simple as that. That comparison trap is huge. When we start comparing ourselves to others, what happens is you are looking at other people at one moment in time, a snapshot, thinking, oh my gosh, their life is so much better. You're looking on social media, you see the highlight reels of what's going on in their lives, and then you start to feel poorly about yourself. You might devalue yourself. And in other states, when you're comparing yourself to other people, you end up setting up a competitive nature between you and another person. And you will treat them when you connect with them in person like competition. Is that truly where you want to come from, or is there an opportunity to come from collaboration and working together? When we get ourselves caught up in comparison, our actions and what we believe shows up, and that's the results that we get. They're less than the stellar results that we would expect of ourselves if we were only pursuing personal excellence. So really think about, are you comparing yourself to other people? Are you scrolling through your social media, seeing what other people are doing, and then you start shooting on yourself? Well, or you're masturbating, as what psychologist Dr. Albert Ellis would call it. You must do something, or you should be doing something. Well, what happens is with that, you end up going into a place of guilt. And guilt doesn't serve anyone. Those shouldings are things that you think in your mind that you need to be doing. And if you truly needed to be doing them, you'd be doing them. And you think that they should be a priority, or you're telling yourself you should be doing these things. But your focus should be on what you need to do, not what you should to do or what you must be doing. Who said? I want you to shift to focusing on what you need to do, because when you focus on what you need to do and you're moving forward, because what happens is when you should and you must and you don't feel like it, you move into a state of procrastination. Then there's perfectionism that comes in, and you're really holding yourself back. You're in an unhealthy pattern, and guilt itself is a very unhealthy emotion. It's not going to drive you forward. It's not going to get results for you. So you want to move into focusing on what you have control over. What are your priorities? What are the things that you know you need to get done? Then we're going to move into actioning that to-do list. So many people have a to-do list that is so long, never ending. And they're like, someday I'll get to this. Here's the thing. We need you, again, prioritize what's most important, what needs to get done. Put some timelines, deadlines on when you want to get some of these things done. Dump out everything, put it on a list, and put some deadlines. When you create urgency, you're going to get moving. And the other thing is you need to take it off the to-do list and actually put it in the calendar, blocking off specific time, whether you're running errands or whatever it needs to be. You're going to block off time that is dedicated to getting that stuff done. Too many people have this ongoing long list. Now, here's the thing. You might make lists for work. You might make lists for home, for groceries. You might have a weekend list. You can make lots of lists. And there's many different electronic versions of apps that you could be using. Todoist, the To-Do on Microsoft, there's Google Tasks, there's Asana, there's so many, Monday.com, so many that you could be using. I haven't tested out a lot of them. I like the traditional paper and pen list that works for me, or in my phone. So think about what's working for you. Now, as you're making these to-do lists, I want you to start small, especially if you're in the state of overwhelm. Start small, actioning 3 to 5 tasks per day. Start knocking off some of these things off your list. As you start getting a little bit more organized, feeling less overwhelmed, you're going to create some momentum. You're going to get really excited. You're going to be knocking off a lot more than 3 to 5. And you're going to be able to give yourself time to really fit in some fun things along the way. But when you can start dedicating time from the to-do list onto the calendar, you're going to get so much more done because it's focused work. Now, here's the other thing I want you to keep in mind. If you have a project, don't give it 4 hours. Give it an hour, several days, because again, when you have more compressed time, you will get done whatever time allots in the time that you give. But you, again, are creating a little bit of urgency. You're better off doing 4 1-hour sessions than 1 4-hour block. You're going to get a way more done because you have that little bit of pressure to get yourself moving and getting things done. So if you're in the state of overwhelm, again, first, stop comparing yourself to other people and thinking, well, look how far ahead they are. And look how far, it gives you this added pressure that you don't need to have. That starts playing in your mindset. Your imagination runs wild. You start worrying and you're not having productive emotions, which leads us to the shoulding and the musting. That's not serving you. There is that underlying guilt that is going to have you procrastinating, focused on perfection, not getting things done. Now, I'd rather have progress over perfection anytime because you can readjust, you can keep going. But when you haven't even started, you're going to miss the mark. And deadlines, there's no time for it. The world's moving fast. You need to stay on top of what you need to take control over. So focus in on what you need to get done and action that to-do list. That to-do list can be so long, longer than Santa's long list. So action it, put it in the calendar, block off, dedicate time to getting things done. And then make sure if there's things you can be delegating to other people to get done for you, that lessens that overwhelm. So when you feel like you should be doing so much more, you feel like the wheels are spinning, I also want you to take a step back to realize you're doing exactly what you need to be doing. You're getting things done. And there was a time when I was working with my business coach, I even told her, I feel like I'm spinning these wheels, not getting anything done. And I felt a bit overwhelmed because I felt like there was so much more to do. But what I recognized is that I didn't take time to be. And I was so busy doing that I didn't acknowledge all the things that were getting done. So take a look at the things you check off your list. Congratulate yourself for moving ahead and taking action and not leaving it on a list of someday. Because someday isn't on the calendar. So get out there, move out of overwhelm into productive energy and getting things done and making the magic happen where you show up the best. Thank you for joining me here on the Millionaire Woman Show. Now I'd love for you to go over to my website, drop in your email, and you will get your 3-part video course of making habits stick so you can build that focus and consistency in your life, your biz, your organization, and getting things done. Now, if you're interested in coaching, please send me a DM message. We'll set up a complimentary coaching session for you to see if we're the right fit. And we'll get you on your way in establishing those priorities, boundaries, whatever it is that you need to help accelerate that growth of where you are right now. Now, I'd love for you to hit the bell, subscribe, rate, review this podcast, share it with your friends, take a snapshot where you're listening to it, and tag me and we'll post it on social media and share. As Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world and go out and make today great.